Dear friends, namaste, and that's Ramneek Wig right in front of you. And friends, today I shall be talking to you about pranayamas for cancer. Now friends, let's first try to understand that pranayama is a complete science in itself. And the role of pranayama is to oxygenate the cells of the system. Now friends, even if I talk about Johns Hopkins Institute, which is one of the best in the world for cancer, that has also categorically laid down that cancer cells cannot thrive in an oxygenated environment. And friends, the role of pranayama is to create an oxygenated environment inside our system. So you got to understand it scientifically. The role is to create an oxygenated environment inside our system. So it really doesn't make a difference how you sit or what time of the day you're doing, or you're sitting cross-legged or not. Is your back spine straight or not? Are you doing indoors or outdoors? Now these are irrelevant factors. Many a times people are more concerned about what time of the day they're doing. They're doing it indoors, outdoors, or how they're seated. And you got to understand it scientifically. These are irrelevant factors. There are two main things in the science of pranayama. One is the ratio patterns between the four limbs of pranayama, which are namely inhalation, internal retention, exhalation, and external retention. And second are the bandhas or the pressure locks, which we apply in our system to further increase the cellular pressure dramatically. Now these are the only two essence of pranayama on which this entire science, the breathing exercise science of pranayama, is based. Many a time people are unaware of the ratio patterns. They're unaware of the pressure locks, what we got to apply in our system to further increase the cellular pressure so that the detoxification can take place. People seem to be more concerned about how they're seated or what time of the day they're doing. Now, another important thing here, it's very important to do disease-specific pranayamas. Now, there are different pranayamas for different diseases. If I get 5 patients, one with cancer, one with diabetes, one with high blood pressure, one with asthma, and one with depression, and if I tell each one of them 5 pranayamas to do, there might not be even one pranayama which is similar. So you got to understand that as you take different medications for different ailments, similarly you do different pranayamas for different problems. So again, it becomes very important for doing disease-specific pranayamas. Now, many times people come to me, they say, sir, I have cancer and I'm doing Anulom Vilom, Bhastrika, Ujjayi, Shitali, Shitkari, Brahmari, Hasya, Pranav. They give me all these names. I tell them, listen friend, these names are pretty good, but none of these pranayamas are for cancer. So it's very important for you to understand that you got to do disease-specific pranayamas. I remember I wrote a book way back in 2009 called The Miracles of Pranayama, where I spoke about 30 different pranayamas. Now, I'll be talking to you a little bit here about pranayamas for cancer. Now, there are several good pranayamas for cancer. There are 10 important pranayamas, what I would say, which are for cancer. And I'll be talking to you about 2 of them. So we'll talk about 2 of those 10 important pranayamas. There are many people who do a disease-specific course on pranayama and food therapy with me through WhatsApp video calling and Skype. And in that course, I talk about 10 disease-specific pranayamas for cancer. I also talk about disease-specific food therapy. There are 7 classes on disease-specific pranayama and 7 classes on disease-specific food therapy. So here, friends, I'll be talking to you about 2 important pranayamas for cancer. The first one here is the Nadi Shodhan Pranayama. Now, nadis are primarily the subtle tube-like channels through which the prana flows in our system. In the yogic text, in the yogic scriptures, it's clearly mentioned that as blood travels through arteries and veins, the prana in our system travels through subtle tube-like channels called as nadis. So nadi, we can say that they are the subtle tube-like channels through which the prana flows in the system. Shodhan stands for cleansing. That means we got to cleanse the nadis so that there is not any interruption of flow of prana in our system. Now again, Nadi Shodhan is an important pranayama for people suffering from cancer. The technique of the pranayama goes something like this, that first you make an apan mudra. This is an apan mudra. That means you join the middle two finger and the thumb together, and the other two fingers are pointed outwards. Now friends, remember, you got to make an apan mudra only with your active hand. Now I'm a left-handed person, so I made with my left. If you're a right-handed person, make it with your right. So first, friends, you got to make an apan mudra with your active hand. That is the first thing. After that, the starting position of this pranayama is that first you close the right nostril, exhale out all from left, completely empty the abdomen right there, and this is called the starting position. The first step will be inhale from left to the count of 4. Second step, close both your nostrils, apply this chin lock, also called Jalandhar Bandh, and hold here till the count of 16. Third step, open the bandha and now release your breath from your right nostril to the count of 8. Fourth step, now inhale from the right to the count of 4. Next step, again close your both nostrils, apply the chin lock like this and hold 16. And the last step, open the Jalandhar Bandh, the chin lock, and exhale from left to the count of 8. And this completes your one round. So friends, you got to remember 2-3 important things as you do this pranayama. First, remember to first get into the starting position. Starting position is you got to close your right nostril, exhale out all from left, empty the abdomen completely. That's your starting position. First step is that you inhale from left to the count of 4. Second step, you apply the chin lock, hold 16. Third step, you open the chin lock, exhale right to the count of 8. Fourth step, you inhale from right to the count of 4. Fifth step, you again close both, apply the chin lock, hold 16. And last step, you open the chin lock and exhale from left to the count of 8, and that completes your one round of Nadi Shodhan Pranayama. Now remember to always follow abdominal breathing in this pranayama. When you inhale, abdomen should expand. When you're holding your breath, abdomen remains at its position. Once you exhale, your abdomen should contract. Second, remember there should be no pauses in the entire exercise. When you're exhaling, exhale in a flow. It should not be like you're exhaling in a step-by-step fashion. That is not correct, because if you exhale in a step-by-step fashion, there would not be cellular pressure adequately concentrated over there. So the right thing is to exhale deeply and in a flow. Now let me talk about the second important pranayama here for cancer, and that is called as the Antara Pranayama. Now, the 4 limbs of pranayama namely are, let's again recollect that. The first is called as inhalation, and in Sanskrit that is called as purak. The second limb is called as internal retention, and in Sanskrit that is called Antara Kumbhak. The third is called exhalation, and in Sanskrit that is Rechak. The fourth is called external retention, and in Sanskrit that is Bhaya Kumbhak. Now this pranayama gets its name from the second limb of pranayama, which is Antara Kumbhak. And the name of this pranayama is Antara Pranayama. Now, the technique of doing this pranayama is that first we sit comfortably, we close our eyes, and then we take a deep breath in, expand our abdomen like a big balloon, moves outwards. After that, we apply the chin lock like this. We bring the chin right here, and we hold ourselves in this position until we easily can. When we find a difficulty in holding, we release the chin band like this, and we very, very gently exhale as deep as we can. And that completes our one round of Antara Pranayama. Friends, I'll demonstrate it to you. Just try to see how I do it. So that completes one round. Now friends, you got to remember 2-3 very important things when you do this pranayama. Number one, when you inhale, your abdomen should expand outwards like a balloon. Second thing, when you hold your breath, your abdomen remains at its position. When you exhale, the abdomen gently sinks inwards. Second, very important thing, what you got to remember, that only hold till 80% of your capacity. That means if you can easily hold your breath for 10 seconds, only hold for 8 seconds. That means there should be no stress while holding. Third important thing, remember, when you exhale, exhalation should be very, very deep in this pranayama. The time taken in exhalation should be 60% that of retention. This is the thumb rule. That is, that if you are taking 10 seconds to hold, the exhalation should be at least 6 seconds. If the exhalation is not good, you will not be able to detoxify the cells of your system. So friends, you got to remember that Antara Pranayama is a good pranayama for people suffering from cancer. Now friends, you got to remember one more important thing, that whenever you start doing pranayamas, first make a note that do you come under any of the safety precaution conditions. There are 15 safety precautions conditions which are to be taken care of while you're doing pranayama. If a person comes under any of those 15 specific conditions, there are certain variations which we need to make in pranayama. There are certain changes in ratios which we need to make in pranayama. So we've got to see that do we come under the safety precaution conditions, and if we do come, we should make the changes accordingly as we do the pranayama. So friends, do take care of yourself, and let me tell you one thing more, that I have written 15 books. Most of them are on pranayama and food therapy, like The Miracles of Pranayama, The Miracles of Food Therapy, The Healing Power of Fruits, Pranayama to Beat Stress, The Joy of Meditation, Win Over Cancer, and others. And I have over 1900 videos on YouTube, so you can also check me out there. My YouTube address is youtube.com/Ramneek Wig. And friends, if you're interested in doing any disease-specific course on pranayama, food therapy, and meditation with me, you can directly call at my center or WhatsApp to my center. The number is 9910178140. So namaste friends, do take care of yourselves and have a great day ahead.